Okay, let me go ahead and introduce you, yeah,
Go ahead, Dua.
by the recording. So greetings to all of you. This is a preview that was specially prepared mostly for not just Basus, but Basus who've traveled to Jamaica and have experienced some of the what it is that we present in that context relative to the Kemetic liberty. And so, a few months ago, actually from last year and before, um, Bastu Aku, who I'm about to introduce, kind of developed with her team, developed a retreat, a Kemetic, diet retreat. And it's a very powerful retreat in my humble estimation, and it captures the best of, kind of the Kemetic teachings and wisdom around health and that were espoused by, Seba Ma Moat Ashby in the book, The Kemetic Diet, among other things. And I thought it would be, very appropriate for Bastu Aku to share that with the community uh, for a couple of reasons. One, actually, she got her start in the community in one of our retreats, and so it's always beautiful to see kind of the seed flower blossom and take it to its natural kind of conclusions. We need more retreats. There's never going to be enough retreats. Retreat is a word that itself means, to go within. That's what's implied in retreat, right? To stop engaging outwardly and to kind of go within. So this is what the spirit of these retreats are. And, I wanted to introduce us to Aku, who has been, a Basu since 2013 from our very first retreat that we ever did. She was trained and she's gone on to study in the temple, to become a Bastu under the teachings of a Set and with Sebai, and has gone on to many things, has traveled to Kemet, and has, spearheaded a study group based on the Kemetic diet and its philosophy. And, like many of us, is attempting to live the teaching, to be a living embodiment of the principles and philosophy that we all espouse, we all value and share and hold dear. So um, I'm excited personally to see what she has done and what she will do tonight, what she will present with us and share with us. And so with that, I'm going to present to you Bastu Aku, and I'm looking forward to, a review of the upcoming Kemetic Diet retreat, at which I intend to be there at least a few of the days. I'm doing something simultaneously, but if I can get there a few days, I would love to be a part of this experience. So, Bastu Aku, take the floor.
Dua Sarang for that Nefer introduction. And Dua everyone for joining us this evening as we take a journey into the Kemetic Diet Retreat. So before we begin, we're going to definitely begin with one of the things that we actually use to definitely begin our meetings of Kemetic Diet, and that is a divine offering. We can definitely respond in our own sacred space, and we normally recite this chant 4 times. So I'm going to go ahead and begin, and we can unmute and join in with the offering. Hotabdi Natairi Matuaj. Hotabdi Sinatairi Matuaj. Hotabdi Sinatairi Matuaj. Hotabdi Sinatairi Matuaj. And this translates to be a peace offering given to cause the divine to make the vascular system flourish, to make it green and healthy. And as we go through, we will definitely be touching on that theme quite a bit tonight on what it means to green the body, to green the mind, and to green the soul. And so we have another chant that is essential for the teachings of wisdom of Kemet. And this is one to the goddess Mahat. So we'll go ahead again and chant that chant, call and response in our own sacred space. Mahadanku Maham. Mahanebuten. Kahenamaham. Ankenamaham. Asimamaham. Duamanebuten. Mahat is the source of life. Mahat is in everywhere you are. Rise in the morning with Mahat. Live with Mahat. Let every limb join with Mahat. Let her guide your actions. Adorations to Goddess Mahat, who is in everywhere you are. And before we move on to the presentation, I'd like to give adorations to Sebama and Sebaja. And they are the priest and priestess of the Tsima Institute, the Temple of Aset, Temple of Shaitan Eter, my spiritual preceptors, and also the authors of the Kemetic Diet book. So we'd like to definitely engage them this evening as we give thanks and adoration for the work they've put in. Sebama has actually written over 70 books on ancient Kemet and the wisdom that we can use from that to actually find our true essence. So as Asar says, among other things, I am the facilitator, the host of the Kemetic Diet Study Group and the Kemetic Diet Retreat. And the Kemetic Diet Study Group began 4 years ago. We're actually in our 5th year. And last year, 2022, was our first retreat. And as you can see, those are some photos from our last retreat in Portland, Jamaica. So what exactly is the Kemetic diet? We have an ancient Egyptian proverb here that says, the blessing of thy eternal part are health, vigor, and proportion. The greatest of these is health. What health is to the body, even that is honesty to the soul. Develop your spirit that it may gain strength to control the body and follow the natural laws of nutrition and hygiene. So this proverb is letting us know that the greatest of the eternal blessing is health. And then the Kemetic diet is going to break down to us what exactly is health. Because when we're in the Western society and we think of health, we think of physical health. But our ancient sages discovered that there is actually 3 bodies, and we're going to go through that next. So here on your screen is the fundamental principles of the Kemetic diet. The principles actually cover the principles of disease and health, because in order to get to health, we have to understand what is the source of ill health. And so we see here some terms at the top: Ukeru, Metu, and Swaj. And what we need to understand is that Ukeru is Hill health. The Kemetic teachings have taught us that we need to definitely purify the Ukeru, which can remain in the body. And then Metu and Was is the greening of the body. So as we can see, in the middle of the pyramid is self-knowledge. So all the toils, all the work that we put in daily towards our spiritual development is for this actual attainment, which is the knowledge of self. So as we can see on each side of the pyramid, we have some important terms that actually encapsulate the principles of the Kemetic diet. We first begin with the food for the body. And this is the one that, a lot of people, when they think of health and they think of diet and they think of, ultimate health, it is definitely, especially in the fundamental teachings of Western society, we think about definitely the body. And the Sinus, which are the ancient Egyptian doctors, that studied and created this philosophy actually used three things to heal. They used not only the food for the body, but the food for the soul and the food for the mind. And these are definitely what we need to what I consider green. All right. So it is not a diet as much as it is a spiritual lifestyle. And we see here the fundamental principles include these three. So, what is the food for the body? Definitely, it is veganism or vegetarianism, right? So, it is green food. It is food in its purest form. So, definitely non processed food. And ultimately, we are seeking what we call true health. So, we have to first begin with truth of the body. And underlining that is definitely virtue and purity. And then we see we also have the food for the mind. And what is the food for the mind? It is wisdom. And again, underlined in that is also the purified wisdom. What do we take into our mind for food? So we do have a lot of food available. We have food from social media. We have food from the television. We have food from a lot of things that really don't lead us to that ultimate goal or attainment of knowledge of self. So, part of our diet is to take in the proper food for the mind. And the proper food for the mind is wisdom. What type of wisdom? Wisdom is what leads you to discover knowledge of self. So, everything that we are seeing on the sides of the pyramid, on the points of the pyramid, we are practicing for that middle goal, for that self knowledge. And so the food for the mind is definitely wisdom. And then we have the food for the soul, which is meditation. So the food for the body and the food for the mind actually leads us to have a sense of purity within the body and mind so that we can remain still enough to definitely practice meditation. And meditation is actually lead us to discover knowledge of self because it's only when we're still that we're able to see beyond the body and mind. And so we have to keep in mind that the really one disease is a deviation from alignment with who you truly are. And that deviation needs to be remedied by coming into alignment. First, the body needs to come into alignment with the mind, and then the mind needs to come in alignment to the soul. So ultimately, true health comes when there is a holistic rebalancing of body, mind, and soul. So we're going to take it a little bit deeper. One moment. I think my slide is going a little bit too fast here. So we're going to take it a little bit deeper as we go into why the retreat is definitely needed. All right. So the individual or the human being is connected to the universal spirit, soul. We are connected. We are definitely one. And so the three bodies that I just mentioned are part of what we call the nine parts of the personality. So the nine parts of the personality is in the three bodies are also in these nine parts of the personality. But why I brought it up is to show you that, or to reiterate that there is a connection to source. And it is only by going back to source that we're able to actually actualize true optimal health. So here is this is from the Kemetic scriptures where it talks about the nine aspects of the personality. And we'll begin at the bottom and work our way up. So at the bottom, we have the cat, and the cat is the physical body. And then we have the Ren, which is the name, the Ka, which is our mind, our Sekhem, which is our vitality, our Ab, which is our unconscious. It's really the deeper level of the mind. We have the Kabit, which is the shadow body, the Sehu, which is the golden body. Then we have the Ab, which is the soul, and the Ak, which is the shining spirit. So the reason why I brought this up is whatever is in the universe. So the left side, we see the God Ra. And in Kemetic spirituality, the God Ra is the high God. He's the supreme being. And then on the right, we see a man, right? An ancient Kemetic man. And we see that the principles that are embedded in Ra, which is the supreme being, is also embedded in the human being. So we are connected because we have the same aspect of the supreme being. So it is that connection that we seek when we go on a retreat, such as the one that I'm speaking about. We're seeking that connection because, in essence, we are always connected to the universal spirit. So, in essence, the retreat that we are talking about tonight is a spiritual retreat. And how is it different from a typical retreat? Is that it's not an escape. It is really an opportunity for you to dive within. And Asar Ankh did mention that in the beginning. So retreat itself means to withdraw, it means to rest. So a spiritual retreat then is not an escape from the world, but actually an intentional, conscious decision to slow down long enough to dive into your true nature outside of the constant motion. So it's really and truly an opportunity to have face time with the divine within, with your true essence. Primarily, it's a personal or a communal experience for participants that definitely come. And the gatherings are basically, open for solitude, reflection, personal initiative, etc. And one of the main things that we practice is definitely to eat well, which is a good thing. Also sleep well and reducing overstimulation of our nervous system. And the nervous system is absolutely so important to knowledge of self. And those are some of the things that would be shared on the retreat. Now, let's talk about the package itself. What does it include? So, it includes, first of all, airport pickup and drop off. We're going actually to St. Anne, Jamaica, and we're going to Sangster's International Airport. So, we're either going to have two services, depending on how many people join the retreat. Aspirin Second Ra was our transportation for last year, and he's definitely open again this year. If we have a bigger group, we're definitely going with Welcome to Jamaica concierge service. So that is included in the retreat package. Okay, I think I'm going a little bit here. Okay. Next is we do have one planned excursion. It would be Duns River Falls or a similar river or excursion. So water is definitely important to the purification process because water definitely in the temple, they had wells. Before you go into the temple, you had to purify. So the spiritual retreat includes some form of connecting to nature via water. Now, the river that we're going to or is planned for this trip is actually to the right corner and the left corner. And the ones in the middle are the last retreat, the river that we went to. Actually, the one in the middle was Scatter Waterfalls, and the one below to the right was the Blue Lagoon. So we make sure on every retreat that there is some sort of connection with the water. Water is the most purifying element for our spiritual evolution. Next, what's included is definitely we do have a massage therapist on this retreat. She it was needed last retreat, and we're glad Shamsu Aset Mahad is joining us. She's a licensed massage therapist with experience in health administration, management, and customer service. Her background in administration allows her to remain professional and target results with clients. She is fueled with love for sharing meaningful information and to assist others. So she's definitely the full package as far as she's also certified in Reiki, and she is a part of our Kemetic diet group. So we're looking forward to one is planned, and if there's any more that's needed, she's definitely open to facilitate as well. And let's talk about our lodging. So we will be on 4 acres of land with greenery, with so much greenery. It is definitely a tropical forest as well as a garden. So it's the garden house actually in St. Anne. And it's definitely what we need to be able to actually get in as much oxygen as we need that we don't get into Western society. So again, we're retreating into self, and we're actually calling on the netters, the elements, to be able to assist us with that process. And we do have a lot of downtime in the actual schedule. Because what we're really, attempting to do is to settle the nervous system long enough so we can definitely delve into ourselves. And let's talk about the package including the general Kemetic diet retreat and meditation seminar program. So the Kemetic diet follows the three principles of the proper food for the body, proper food for the mind, and proper food for the spirit. So our program is actually mirroring that. It's following that. So the food for the body would be light breakfast of fruits, green juice, smoothie, and unlimited coconut water, plus 2 meals per day. And it's 80-20, so 80% raw, 20% cooked. And give thanks, last year we had aspirin second raw and aspirant Giovanni, actually from Montego Bay, cater, but also we had a raw food demonstration or a raw food workshop by Chef Layton, and he's out of Leaf of Life Cuisine in Jamaica. You can Google him. He been on TV and things like that, but he was able to definitely wow us with his raw food skills. And so we have contracted him for this year's raw food retreat or Kemetic diet retreat. So next on the program is the food for the mind. So as stated earlier, the food for the mind is wisdom, right? It is wisdom. It's turning away from things that is, it's not going to get us spiritual enlightenment or a deeper connection to source. And we're going to wisdom teachings. And this particular retreat, we're focusing on the wisdom of meditation. So we are using the book, The Glorious Light Meditation. And so definitely we will be, having lectures on the Glorious Light Meditation. We'll also have some self-care and relaxation activities and techniques, basically, again, to calm the overstimulated sympathetic nervous system that is acquired from living in a Western society. And these will benefit not only the body, but also the mind and the soul, because until the body is still, the mind does not still. And so we are doing these activities to kind of calm and slow down so we can do our immersion into self. We're also going to do the Semapat Tefneteru Egyptian yoga sessions, and we'll have a few of those planned as well. And most importantly, also nature immersion. So we'll be on 4 acres, and so there'll be a lot of space for that. But we also have at the end of Dunn's River, there is a beach, and we're about 5 minutes, I think, from there. So we will have like 1 or 2 days of planned sessions on the beach itself. And again, we are definitely reducing the overstimulus or the stimuli of our sympathetic nervous system. So the last part of the program is the food for the soul. So I kind of like this particular quote from the Glorious Light Meditation book. It's on page 21. Quote, when you are active and not practicing or experiencing the wisdom of yoga, you are distracted from the real you. This distraction, which comes from the desires, cravings, and endless motions of thoughts in the mind, is the veil which blocks your perception of your deeper essence. Netter, netter. These distractions keep you involved with the mind, senses, and body that you have come to believe is the real you. When the body is motionless and you're thinking and feeling, you're mostly associated with the mind. At times when you're not thinking, such as in the dreamless sleep state, then you're associated with your higher self. So this is definitely letting us know how and what it takes to experience an association with our higher self. We have to still the body and also still the mind. So all the work that we've done up until this point is to get to an association or to get back to source. And so the food for the soul will be daily guided and non-guided meditation sessions. We'll also have breathing techniques. We'll practice the 3 different breathing techniques. And again, we do have Semapat Tefneteru, definitely meditative sessions as well. So this is what we'll have for the food for the soul. So what is not included in the package is the flight to Jamaica and the flight back to the USA. And we're currently asking people not to book flights yet until you're told to do so. Also, what's not included is any additional excursions, entrance fees, etc., not noted previously. There's some times when we're there and something might come up and people might want to do something different, anything that the Neteru. So we leave room for God, in case something comes up and that's not planned, then the group will have to definitely pay for those things. So those things are not included. Let's go ahead and take a look at the general schedule that has been prepared so far. So we arrive in Jamaica on Thursday, June 15th. It's a travel day, so we arrive by 6 p.m. 5:30 to 6:30, we have a meet and greet dinner and conclude for the evening for rest. Then in the morning, 5 to 6 a.m., personal morning devotion and meditation. So, personal morning and devotion and meditation. Last retreat, we actually had it scheduled and everybody woke up and we went and did it, but not everybody want to wake up that early. So, we kind of make this trip again a little bit lighter for the nervous system. So, what if you don't feel like waking up at 5? You can wake up at 5:30. So, we kind of make it an easy morning. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, we have the Tefnet Terusi Mapat session. And then we have food for the body, which is breakfast. And 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we usually have personal reflection time. And the first day that we're able to sit down and kind of begin the teachings, we begin with the teachings of purity, which is the introduction to Mahat philosophy. There's definitely a teaching that states that, but if you want to go to God, you got to go through the goddess. So we'll have her as our introduction and basically our blessing on the first day. Then we'll have the food for the body, which is lunch. And at 1 to 3, we'll have the first food for the mind presentation. And then we talked about our activities that we will have personal self-care. And one of those activities is called Bless Yourself. And it's a group activity. And for those that are coming, it's extremely nefer. And at 5:30 to 6:30, we have food for the body again, which is dinner. So the ones that are highlighted in green are usually food for the body. And the one in purple is food for the mind. And the one in a grayish color purple is food for the soul. And the grayish blue color is food for the mind. We do have personal reflection time right after dinner, and then we have food for the soul, a group activity. Then on the 17th, again, we follow the same schedule pretty much, except the personal self-care and the food for the mind is kind of switched around there. The self-care personal reflection time, you see it's about 2 hours. So we're giving ourselves so much rest, even though we're having a program that is actually structured this way. And then on the 18th, we'll have nature immersion. So then we'll be going to Dunn's River Falls, and we're actually going right after breakfast, but we'll be back before lunch or for lunch. And then right after lunch, we definitely will have some personal meditation and reflection time. And then on the 19th, we're again follow the same schedule. I have it here, a raw food demo, but we have since spoke to Chef Layton, and he will definitely be on board to kind of have us figure that out. Whether he's going to definitely have lunch ready for us or like he did last year. Last year, he had us all prepare a meal, which was extremely nefer. So someone cut up the tomatoes, somebody else cut up this, somebody else, he put us in groups and it was really nefer. So I'd like him to do that. So I've carved out that spot. But please bear in mind that, things might change. Then we have another group activity called Menkin. And Menkin is definitely a part of the temple's process. When you menk, you kind of remove things that are not serving your higher purpose, and you get rid of those. And we have done that in Kemet, and I really like it. It's Sebaja, the high priestess of the temple, her activity. So we're going to borrow it definitely for the Kemetic diet retreat. And PRT just means personal reflection time. And you see throughout the course that's included. And again, on the 20th, definitely following the same kind of kind of process. And the summer solstice day, we're going to definitely go to a local store, herbal store. We went to one last year and it was extremely nefer. And I can share some of those with you as well. So we'll be doing a little bit of shopping, private meditation, and packing day. So that is the general program that we will be following. Definitely, maybe some tweaks here and there, but this is what it generally will be. So now let's talk about the cost of the trip. So the package there's two options for a full payment plan. For all that I have shared, the cost of the retreat is $21.95. If you're paying in full just for attending tonight, if you pay in full on or before February 27th, it would be $1,995. So you'll get a nice little discount there just for attending the retreat tonight, the retreat preview tonight. But we also have our payment plan package, and still there's a discount. So there's $100 discount just for being here tonight with us. The deposit would be $495 on or before February 27th, and then for equal monthly payment of $400. So the first payment of $400 would be due after the deposit March 15th, and the final payment will be due June 15th. And to register, definitely send an email to me. So I definitely have that you attended today, and I can definitely apply your discount for you. Because right now, if you go on the JAT form to register, it will ask for the full payment. So definitely, if you want to, and I can post this in the chat just a little bit later. So that completes the program tonight of my sharing with you the Kemetic Diet Retreat. Is there any questions? And do us so much for joining. Hetep.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to say it was hope to be able to go. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go ahead and kind of share back the screen with my information. It went off pretty fast. So Nee, I'm definitely open for any questions or comments in regard to what I've shared with you so far. And let me see if I can post this in the chat. Hetep. Thank you so much, Alexis. I appreciate you joining. Dua. Nee, I did share the video in the Basu group, but I can share it here as well. Have you seen the video of last year's? A little amateur, but
I saw it in the email that Mikey or Kwaku sent out. So I saw the link for tonight, but I wanted to go back and watch the video. I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
Oh, very never. Do us so much. Appreciate you coming.
And I actually have a friend who's living in Portland Parish for the past maybe going on 3 years. So I've been meaning to visit her anyway. So
Wow. Well, just to let you know, the retreat center, our personal retreat center, is right now being set up, completed, and it's per Mahat. So it's the House of Mahat Wellness Retreat and Meditation Center in Portland, Jamaica.
that's awesome.
Definitely, let me go ahead and put my number here so you can connect. Not sure if my number is on the flyer, but definitely the environment in Jamaica is a little bit different. As you're immersed in nature, you're immersed in, even the waters, the eons that they help you to kind of align yourself. The house of Mahat is actually 5 minutes away from the beach, but still in a tropical forest. And so we will definitely be sending things out when we're ready for some private retreats and things like that. So stay tuned as we share that as well in Portland, Jamaica, Dua. All right. And is there any additional questions or comments at this time?
Do I know? It looked fun, and I'll see if I can join.
Never, Dua. And for anyone that wishes to have a separate payment plan, if that doesn't work for you, just still email me and, let me know you're interested and we can still make it happen. So we are definitely open as well. Someone was speaking. I apologize. I think I thought I heard someone.
Will you be doing another one of these presentations again soon, or?
I am not sure. I definitely open to
Or can I just share the PowerPoint maybe at least with
Oh.
people?
Okay, that sounds very nefer.
Okay.
If
Can you make the recording available?
Oh yeah, the recording will be available. So we'll
Sweet.
definitely share it. Much do I tap. All right, if there's no further question, Asar Ankh, much dua for allowing or for making the space available for me to share the works of the Netaru. And dua again, everyone, for joining. I look forward to sharing space with you. Okay.
Tap.
You all had
What's that? Do I?
Do it to you, Bastu, for taking the time to put together something that we can visually see, and as well as sharing so much of the details with us. And I'm sure that there are quite a few others that weren't on the call that are interested. So we want to make sure that they can have access to this wonderful presentation that you prepared, and get a sense of the depth of the what the Kemetic diet is really about, because it's almost a misnomer to call it Kemetic diet in the way we think of diet in the Western world, but it is really the process of being holistic, body, mind, and spirit, in terms of how we feed ourselves, and nourish ourselves. So you lay that out really wonderfully in a very nefer way. And so dua to you, and dua to Seba Ma and Seba Jah for putting it together so we can absorb it in this way. Tap.
Tap, dua.
Tap, everyone.
Hatep.
That's it.